Expressed on this program are those of the producers and individuals appearing on this program and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Sun Prairie Media Center staff, its video service providers, or the staff and elected officials of the City of Sun Prairie.
Hello, everyone. Well, this is Marc Madness Sports. I'm Marc Carstens, the host of Marc Madness Sports, here today with Ava Vogler, three-sport athlete at Sun Prairie East, basketball, baseball, and football, and then Ava Vogler, who has played in three different sports as well, basketball, volleyball, and soccer. So how are you guys both today? And excited to talk some SP East Cardinals sports with you guys today.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Ava, I'll maybe start talking to you about basketball.
Okay.
So you had a very successful girls basketball season this past season, in the 2024 season, 2024-2025 season. You led the team in scoring at 16.4 points per game. You also were named first team All Big 8 conference selection. Maybe just looking back at the season, obviously for you individually it was a quality season. I know for your team, maybe there were higher hopes, though.
We have a senior post this year, KP. She'll be a very big help. She was a big help last year. Definitely will miss our two seniors last year, Zella and Kari. They were a big help. Kari was very definitely our hype man, always hyping everyone up, always very good at defense and everything. Zella, she was quiet but sneaky. She came out of nowhere a lot and was she can shoot and stuff. Addie, Brooke, Kira, that will be a strong part of our team this year with them all returning. So basically it's kind of the same team as last year, just missing two people. And yeah, I don't.
Maybe I'll ask you this, maybe more about next season. So you'll have a lot of seniors next season because you'll have Kira Place, who's a senior,
Yeah.
Abby Packard, Addie Bowie will be a senior as well. So maybe just looking at this next year's senior group, which will be a big senior group, maybe what it will be like having a lot of upperclassmen as teammates this next year, and maybe what can that do to improve your last season's record, which was 10-15, 8-10 in Big 8 conference play?
I feel like a lot of teams last year had a ton of seniors and lost them, so they have to restart and build a new team, but we only lost two, so we have basically almost our whole roster back, and we've played together 3 years now, most of us. So I feel like since we've played together, we've all played well together, and we'll all be we'll play stronger and
Have good culture.
yeah, good culture, friendships, and all play well together.
Awesome. Maybe I'll share. So the last game of the season was a 25-69 loss to the Oregon Panthers in the playoffs. I mean, I know it was a tough game for your team and tough performance, but maybe what can you learn from a game like that? Even though it was obviously not the result you or your team would have wanted, maybe there probably was a good learning experience from it.
Yeah. I felt like once we got down by a lot, some of us gave up, but most of us kept playing, kept trying, even though nothing was going our way. We were all just getting chirped by the student section, them telling us we were bad and stuff. But most of us kept our head up, kept playing, and obviously it wasn't the outcome we wanted, but I feel like if we would have just gave up right away, it would have been way worse, but we didn't, so it was kind of a good way to end off our season. knowing that we put like what we had left on the court.
And maybe with Coach Crystal Brandon, it was her first season this past year. I mean, maybe what did you enjoy with her being your coach, and maybe what do you think she'll continue to bring to the Sun Prairie East program this coming year? Now that she's had a full season coaching, head coach under her belt, now a full season, and now going into her second year.
I feel like definitely like the culture is like great. Like all like we all like are like females and like all like building. I don't know. They're like our whole coaching staff is very positive, very like encouraging, wants us to get better, and is very supportive. And I feel like if we didn't have that, it would definitely, our whole like program would be way different and stuff. But definitely excited for next year with her coaching us, and excited to see what new things she has for us.
And Ava, maybe for you individually, probably your best game was the 33 points you scored against Madison La Follette, at Madison La Follette. Was that maybe a game where you just felt like offensively it was just like everything was clicking for you at your best?
Yeah, I just rewatched that game. I actually missed a few free throws at the beginning of the game, and like a lot of shots that I felt like I could have made. So at halftime, I had no idea how many points I had. I wasn't really like thinking about that. I was just trying to beat La Follette because, I don't know, I didn't get to play in that game the last time because of my concussion against Memorial. So it was kind of like a revenge game. But yeah, I felt like that was a great like points and like game for me. But I wasn't really like trying to like just score. I was just trying to win like with my teammates' help and like contribute to the team.
Well, awesome. Yeah, it's not really something you think about in game, how many points you have, but I mean, sometimes you just look at the box score at the end and that's when you find out. But maybe what's a part of your basketball game, Ava, you've been trying to really improve on this offseason to get ready for this next season?
Definitely my strength. I've been in the weight room 3 times a week. Yeah, I felt like if I would get stronger, like when I take it to the rim, it would definitely not be as, like I wouldn't get hurt as much as I did last year and like get fouled as much, and like I could wait, can you ask the question again?
Yeah, just about like maybe what you're trying to improve upon from this past season going into this season for basketball.
Definitely my strength. I feel like if I could just get stronger as a player, I could definitely dominate on the floor a lot more. And my defense, I feel like when my offense doesn't come to me, I can just use that to help on the defensive floor.
Awesome. And then another thing I wanted to ask you is, I know last year you were taking more three-point shots, so you're trying to develop more of that outside shooting. Is that something you're still continuing to work on this offseason too, is just increasing your range from the outside?
Yeah, definitely a lot more, because when a lot of teams like to just close in the lane so you can't really get in, then I just want to be a threat on the perimeter.
Well, awesome. Maybe anything else maybe you want to share just about kind of maybe upcoming basketball season, having a lot of upperclassmen?
I'm definitely very excited for this season.
And maybe, Ava, I'll ask this kind of last question for you regarding basketball. Maybe your favorite basketball player that you just like to watch, follow, maybe learn from.
Either Caitlin Clark or Paige Beggars.
Those are good answers for sure. Well, Van, I'll get into maybe talking football with you now. So last season was a quality season, 7-4 season. You lost in level 2 of the WIA playoffs, 38-14 to West Appear. I was in attendance for that one. Maybe looking back at the 2024 season, what maybe was successful, and maybe what would you want to, or what are maybe you and the whole staff trying to work on to improve from last year?
So last year was a very successful season. We had a lot of seniors. We were pretty good with size. A lot of athletes playing both ways and everything. But some things we're probably trying to incorporate is like some different defensive coverages and a couple of new offensive packages with our running backs, and like trying to get our defense more in sync with all of our coverages.
Well, awesome. And Van, I know last year you obviously primarily played wide receiver and defensive back, and I think you kind of touched on it in the preseason, so you're going to play a lot more of that again here in this coming season. Do you see it being like a pretty even balance between you're playing wide receiver and corner, or how do you maybe envision that that's going to kind of play out? I mean, that could vary, obviously, game to game.
Yeah, so I feel like it'll definitely be a lot more even this year. Last year, primarily corner, touch a little receiver here and there. But, yeah, this year I should be getting a lot more offensive reps within the season and games. But ultimately it comes down to the coaches' decisions and what they think's best for the team.
Well, awesome. Maybe what was a favorite memory from the 2024 season, just from this past season? Like, was it winning maybe that first playoff game against Eschwabanon? Obviously, that'd be probably one that would be obviously a really good moment. Obviously, the win, as you know, each year that you've had against Sunbury West, I know is obviously a great moment.
Yeah,
so.
For sure. Oh, that's tough. I'd probably say the Schwabadon game. Because, what is it? I scored the first touchdown that game, first touchdown of playoffs, and having a lot of moments where I was just very close to getting in the end zone and just finally seeing that happen, that just felt really nice. But also always feels good to beat Sun Prairie West in that crosstown rival. Just a very packed stadium, just an environment you can't really match. So that's definitely up there too.
Yeah, I was figuring those probably are the two moments that you probably were going to definitely touch on.
Yeah.
Well, Max Raymer, your quarterback, you had a really good connection with him. He graduated. Yeah. What do you see with the quarterback room, obviously, this year? Is there's going to be some new players that maybe haven't had a lot of varsity experience going into that role? But I know a couple of the quarterbacks that are competing have had a lot of experience at the JV level.
Yeah, for sure. So we got Braylon Peterson and Carson Selmer. They've been competing very hard this offseason, and been connecting with them both on the offensive side, and it's just very fun to see them compete, and just fun connecting with them on the field.
So maybe with them, I mean, I know it's difficult because the last two quarterbacks you've had have been very good. I mean, Max Raymer, Drew Kavanaugh. Maybe what can these two quarterbacks do to live up to, what those two quarterbacks were able to do? I know it's hard, but.
Yeah, definitely just trust the coaching because they know what they're talking about with how they should play with their eyes, footwork, timing on routes, just all of that. They just got to trust the coaching that they're given, and just keep on continuing to learn.
And obviously you want them to be themselves. You want them to not be Max or not be Drew and be Braylon, be Carson. So, they I'm sure the coaching staff always reminds them of that, is that just be yourself, and that'll help you too.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
But maybe with this season, maybe some games on the schedule that you're looking most forward to. Obviously, this first game is going to be, I think, really great, and it's tomorrow, right, Van? Against Verona Wildcats, so out of conference.
Yeah, definitely that one. Season opener, Thursday night. Not too many teams play Thursday night, so it'll be a highly anticipated game. Definitely Sun Prairie West. I mean, always got to be a game you're looking forward to with the whole city showing up. And then I would say Wanakee, just because last year we had a very tough matchup with them, and that's always what it usually comes down to for conference championships. But they've gotten the best of us for the past 2 years, so we're trying to flip the script this year.
Obviously, Wanakee, very great football tradition that they have there, so
it's
always feels extra special when you win those types of games against teams that have had such good past,
for sure,
football history. And first two opponents you're going to face are two of probably the very best in the state in Verona and McGuanago.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's a tough start to the season, but
exactly,
it prepares you well for the rest of the season.
Sure does.
Maybe anything else you want to share maybe about this upcoming season, maybe things you're hoping to see with your team? I mean, how far do you think this team can go in the playoffs? I mean, obviously last year was level 2 of the playoffs. Unfortunately, was a loss there, but maybe getting level 3. I mean, I'm sure that's at least the goal. Is just getting a step further.
Yeah, for sure. And it's just our team. We just got to be more physical, flat around. Just can't get pushed around. Knowing that we're going up to the Division I level this year and not with D2. It's going to be more of a challenge, but it's nothing we haven't faced before. We can surely live up to that hype and compete at the D1 level.
What do you think of the new playoff metrics? I was just curious. What do you think of kind of the new format and what it takes to get into the playoffs and kind of what the committee all looks at? I mean, it's an interesting new format that they've come up with. Yeah,
very interesting. It just really takes into consideration with all the matchups you have. So if you have a cakewalk of a schedule, it's going to be tough to get in. But if you have those highly anticipated matchups and live up to those games and put on a good fight, you're just never out of it.
Yeah, it's kind of neat, but certainly a unique new wrinkle to things. Van, maybe I'll get into talking more. Let's maybe get into some baseball discussion. So, Van, this past season was obviously a really quality baseball season. 21-8 on the season. You made it to state. Did lose in the quarterfinals to Muskego. Ended up winning the state championship, 7-2. In that game, your team had 6 hits, which I mean is pretty solid. I mean, to have 6 hits in the game. Maybe. What was the most successful parts of the season? I mean, obviously, getting to state is really hard. So it was a successful season. And maybe that game against Madison Memorial, I mean, that was a special game for you guys.
Yeah, very special. So we had a lot of energy going into that game. We were watching their game against Middleton. They had a dogfight, and it's kind of hard we knew they had a lot of energy going into the next game, but we just knew right away we had to come out swinging and just take all that energy away, which is what we did with Alex on the mound, shutting them out in the top of the first, and then our bats in the bottom of the first just really came alive with Max in the home run in the first inning, and then just stringing along hits and playing the baseball we know how to play.
And I mean, I think the whole day kind of in Baraboo, I mean, it was just like the brothers trying to outdo one another, Cam and Max. And I don't even know who outdid the others. It was just, they both had such amazing days that particular day in both games. I mean, your first game, they both had really good performances. And then in that so the first game against Holman, they were really successful. And then that second game against Madison Memorial, they were equally as good and successful. It was just a great day for them in particular.
Yeah, for sure.
I felt.
Yeah.
So it's kind of neat to see brothers like get the best out of one of the other, get the best out of each other.
Yeah, it was definitely fun being with both of them in those moments. Just with what the conversations were like and everything, and it was just fun to be a part of it with them.
But Van, position-wise, you played a lot of second base. I mean, that was really, it seemed like where they primarily had you play, at least, throughout the season. And you played some outfield as well. Do you kind of see more of that in this upcoming season, where you probably play second base maybe primarily, but might get some opportunities in right and left field as well? Or
So I was getting talked about by moving to shortstop for this upcoming year, but ultimately the coach's decision, and whatever's best for the team is just what I'll do.
That's awesome. Maybe what do you maybe enjoy more on the baseball field? Do you enjoy more getting up to the plate, experiencing the at-bats, or do you like being in the field and just taking ground balls and fielding fly balls? And
I would definitely say at-bats. Find hitting very enjoyable, and once you and hitting's just very up and down, so once you see that success in hitting line drives or hitting extra base hits and everything, it just feels very good, and it's just a confidence booster.
Van, would you say baseball is probably one of the most mental sports there are? 'Cause I'd have to say yes to that. I mean, I would say it's got to be between that and golf, or two sports that are just so mental, where it
sure.
really determines how well you do.
Yeah, for sure. So, just one at bat, one error, just like can't define your game, and you can always like come back and make the next play. But it's just how you take in that little mistake you have, because it's almost impossible to have a perfect game. Like, you can't get a hit every single time. You can't field every single ball. So it's just like how you respond to failure is what I'd say.
And then with the pitching staff, what's great is you'll have a lot of pitchers coming back, and Brady Stelzer, who didn't even really get to pitch really much at all this past season, will be a senior this next year, like with you, and be able to pitch probably the whole season this next year. He'll finally be healthy enough with his arm, I think, to finally pitch a whole season, to go along with Joey Tamboli, who will be back. And so you'll have your main pitchers back for this next year too.
Yeah, we just hope Brady's going to be healthy enough to pitch. We'll see how his labrum holds up, but and how better it gets. But even if we don't have him, we still have a solid rotation with Joey Tamboli, Grayson Utek, and just Braden Johnson, who was really good for us last year, and just a lot of like role players who can step on the mound and throw strikes and just let our defense make some plays for them.
But what's great about your baseball team for next year is you have a lot of your key players returning. I mean, lost a couple players that obviously, like Tristan Fry, certainly, was a loss, and trying to think of a few of your other players. But no, you had a couple lost seniors, but a lot of returning players, though.
Yeah, for sure. It's gonna be hard losing Max Glusick, Tristan Fry, Reed Sogstead, Alex Kloon, but we'll definitely have a lot of good returning players like Cam Glusick, Manny Abreu. We'll have a lot of key players coming back, and a lot of players who will need to step up, but based off on how our JV team was last year, I feel like those players are able to step up and help us return back to state again.
Be an exciting year again next year.
Yeah.
So excited for it. So maybe who's your favorite baseball player that you've kind of looked up to and kind of watched film from?
My favorite baseball player, I would have to say, is either Ronald Acuna Jr. or Bryce Harper, just two players I've always grown up watching. I have Bryce Harper jerseys. Ronald Acuna is just like a newer player, but just very like high energy, and just very easy player for people to look up to. So, yeah.
Well, awesome. Maybe I'll get into some fun questions here with you guys. That's what I'm thinking. So, maybe I'll start. Favorite athlete in any sport to watch and follow for either one of you. Who would it be?
Ooh. You know yours?
I think I would say Caitlin Clark.
That's tough. I'd probably say Ronald Acuna Jr.
I'll give my own answer as well. I think I'd say Giannis Antetokounmpo. I mean, I just really like what he's been able to do with the Bucks, and been a great player. So,
Yeah.
Maybe favorite TV show to watch.
That's all you. I don't really watch TV shows at all.
Gossip Girl.
It's a good one.
If I had, what was that one show we used to watch as a family? Football one.
Well, Friday Night Lights.
Yeah,
yeah.
Friday Night Lights. That'd probably be the one I'd say.
That's a good one. That's a good
Yeah.
one. I like that one a lot myself. I'm going to say All American for me. I really
Oh, I
like
do
that
like
program. Yeah, it's a good show. Maybe favorite sports movie to watch, if you watch any sports movies.
I don't know the name of it.
What
Well, I
sport
really
is
like.
it?
I really like the. Well, I like a lot of them, but I remember watching. It was like about Serena and her like sister, like when they, like growing up and them playing tennis and then going on tour and stuff.
I think it's The King of Queens, that might be called.
Something, but
Yeah.
it was a good movie.
Benchwarmers. That one's pretty funny. I like that one a lot.
I was going to say Moneyball for me is one, and then Remember the Titans. Those are two really good ones. I definitely would recommend. Go-to snack before a sporting event, maybe for either one of you.
Fruit, but recently, like before, like my AAU games, I would eat like Gushers or fruit snacks.
For me, it kind of depends on the sport. I kind of get the same thing for everything. I always get a body armor, and then kind of depends what Quick Trip has. I always go for the chicken tenders or chicken sandwiches, and then I'll probably grab a little bag of candies, some like Airhead Extremes or something like that.
Those are good. No,
Yeah.
Those are good. Yeah, usually for me it'd be like a little chocolate bar or something would be probably what I would have, and then water, maybe just a bottle of water. That might be what I would do. But let me see here. This will be fun. Between myself, Van, Ava, if we had a basketball shooting contest, who do you think would win?
Me. Definitely me. Van tries to say he's a better shooter and would beat me. I don't think
just
that's true.
give me one day to get my shot back on.
No.
Just give me one day. I'll be butter. Yes.
No.
You guys might be surprised. I can shoot a basketball pretty well. You guys have good competition with me.
Yeah.
I got the 3-point shot down, so
Then maybe you
even
might
the mid
win.
range. So, but it'd be fun. It'd be fun to see for sure.
Yeah.
So, on the football field, Van, maybe more. Van, I'll ask you: if you saw me on a football field, where do you think you would see me playing? As obviously, I kind of know I'm limited in the positions I can play. So.
Shoot. I don't know. Probably like around wide receiver type, maybe.
That's exactly what I would think a slot receiver. That would probably be my best spot. If I probably had a second spot, it'd have to be running back on offense. And then defensively, I'd have to play corner or safety. I'd be limited to those. I could not play line, so there'd be too many guys that would be bigger and stronger than me, and I'd have to rely on positions more based on speed.
Yeah.
and agility more than anything. So, but playing baseball, what position maybe, Van, would you see me playing? I mean, obviously, I know what I my best position is, but.
Based on what we said for football, probably like one of the outfield positions, because like tracking a football down is ideally like tracking a baseball down. So I would probably say one of the outfield positions, because it's I don't know.
I'd say second base or left field. To be honest, those are my two best positions. I couldn't really say if today I were to play one or the other what I'd be better at. It's pretty even. But those are definitely my two best positions for sure.
Yeah.
At least back in high school, and it still would be today. So on the basketball court, maybe what would you see me most playing? I mean, I kind of maybe shared what I probably would play on basketball.
What would you say, Ava?
Probably a guard, shooting guard. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say shooting guard too.
I would say probably a combo guard, where I'd be I could play the point, but probably shooting guard would be my best natural position, I would say. Close the segment, actually, maybe before we close, I forgot to ask you, Van, about basketball a little bit. We have no returning starters in the 2025-2026 season after having a great season here in the 2024-2025 season, where your team went 18-6 on the regular season and then 15-3 in Big 8 conference play. Maybe what do you expect the starting lineup to look like this next year? I know it's going to be a lot of new changes.
So our two only like returning players from the varsity squad, Luke Wagner, Cam Glusick, and then me. So it'll be very interesting on what the JV team from last year is gonna respond to having to step up. But it's gonna be very interesting. I have no clue what really anything's gonna look like, but we'll just have to see.
Maybe what was it like playing alongside Chris Davis Jr. and Max Raymer and Tristan Fry, three players who, now are actually going on to play at the college level basketball. For Max and for Tristan, not at the D1 level, but for Chris Davis Jr., he's been fortunate enough to be given an opportunity. Yet, granted, I know a lower level Division I, but it doesn't matter. He's playing at a Division I program at University of South Carolina, Charleston.
It was very cool to play alongside them. They brought a lot of energy and just played really hard together. And it was just very fun to watch and be a part of.
That's awesome. And, Chris Davis Jr., it was just a phenomenal season for him. Really, really best way to put it. 36.8 points per game, led the state, Big 8 Conference Player of the Year. What was it like having him as a teammate versus playing him twice a year? I'm sure that had to have been a whole different thing, having him as a teammate versus playing against him.
I never really played against him, but just playing alongside him, it was very cool and very special to be a part of. Just with his journey and everything that he's been through with a lot of people hating on him. It's just it's very cool to see on how he responds and how he steps up to the big moments.
Well, that's awesome. Maybe the last question here, and we'll close it out with this. Favorite music artist or genre of music to listen to for either one of you, Ava or Van?
I would say right now it's definitely country music, and I like Morgan Wallen.
So I'm kind of in the mix between country and rap. It's a very weird combination, but kind of depends on how the day is. But for favorite rap artist, I'd probably have to say NBA YoungBoy. Gotten into him very recently. And then for country, I don't know. There's a lot of very good artists, and I kind of just go based off the song.
But
So,
I
we'll
like
see.
to listen to a lot of older music. For me, actually, like Fleetwood Mac, the Eagles, John Mellencamp. That's the type of music that I listen to. So,
Yeah.
well, I think that concludes everything today for March Madness Sports. I'm Marc Carstens, Van Vogler, Ava Vogler. Thank you guys so much for joining me and getting an opportunity to talk some Sun Prairie East Cardinal sports today.
Thank you for
Yeah,
having
thank
us.
you.
Yeah, thank you. Have a great day.